Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Well, I got an email today that my Zenith is done getting finished up for repair work, and I should hopefully be back next week. But in the meantime, couldn't help myself. I bought an HK SP5, so I've been shooting this thing quite a bit. And I just want to talk about how it's set up and my impressions so far. I only have probably just north of 1,000 rounds through it, so not a long-term test by any means. For magazines, I've used HK 30 rounders, HK 15-round mags, and some Zenith 30-round magazines. No issues, no malfunctions of any kind. Go figure. It's an HK, but no issues. Fired some flat point, some full metal jacket, some 115s, 124, 147s, fired some gold dots through it. So a wide variety of ammo, no issues at all. This thing slaps, as the kids say. So I just want to walk through briefly how it's set up and why. I don't know if this is going to get SBR'd or not, because honestly the paperwork's kind of goofy for traveling with it. Anyway, this is an SB tactical brace, so it's a side folder. The only probably complaint with this is it's like the traditional stock drop on MP5. So it's lower compared to some of the stuff like the SIG Rattler brace comes straight out, which then when you mount the gun, it makes you, kind of behind where the irons would be as far as co-witness, but most of the red dots that I've seen are just a little bit above that line just due to the claw mounting system and kind of the way to get something set up on it. So anyway, that's what I have for stock. As far as optics go, this is a Midwest Industries, just the claw mount style that's common to the HK. So just those little wedges that interact with the lugs on the receiver. Again, like HK, PTR, the 91s, like there's a bunch of different guns that use that style of mount. But maybe the more interesting stuff is the sight. So this is a Holosun SCRS, which is solar powered, kind of cool. I've not had one of these yet, but the Holosun guys are very kind of sent me one. Well, I actually asked my homeboy, I was just like, hey, which optic? I want something low. Like, what's going to be the best fit for this? Because I didn't want something like an EOTech EXPS series where it's a much taller and a much wider optic. So anyway, my friend Josh was like, hey, this is, try the SCRS. This looks like a good fit. And I kind of was already leaning towards that one anyway. So that's what I got. It's mounted with, so the hardware that comes with the SCRS is just a little bit higher as far as optic height, and I wanted it as low to the rail as I could get. So I got an American Defense mount. No secret, I'm a fan of these. Basically, to take it off, you just push in this little, tab safety. Once you defeat that, it allows the QD lever to be switched. And anyway, so these are good. I've had quite a few of these QD mounts. The thing I like about this one is I think it's also designed for the Holosun 509T. Hopefully I'm not getting that wrong. But basically there's a bunch of different heights. So there was a lower third, a co-witness, and a low. So I went with the low height QD mount because that gets this optic as low as I can to the rail, which this thing's pretty fly. Like just shouldering the gun, maybe it's a tick higher than I'd want it to be. Pretty usable, and I could always change that with the stock if I want to. So anyway, it's been good. Go figure, Holosun stuff just works. And I've never had anything that's solar powered. This doesn't have a battery in it at all. So that's just kind of a fun test for me also. Does the regular Holosun stuff, so I can hold down the minus button and change it if I want the circle with the dot in the center, the EOTech style reticle, or just the plain dot. For this, I opted to just run the plain dot for the most of the time I've used it. Probably the cool stuff is all on the front side of the gun. This is a Midwest Industries M-Lock rail. They also have like a cool quad rail kind of thing going, but it seemed more bulky and heavier. So this just seemed like a lot smarter package. For lights, go figure, Surefire. This one's a turbo, definitely my go-to. They just have way more throw. I think candela is a technical term. Don't beat me up if I'm wrong. But anyway, it's a tighter beam and it goes farther. So I like that part a lot. With the Pro Surefire lights, it's got this little screw on the end, and it comes with two different cleats. So an M-Lock and a Picatinny style cleat that you can attach to your rail, whatever you want, and then just loosen this little screw to get the light where you want it, tighten it down, and that way you can really fold the light in against the rail. Well, I planned on running this thing with the can. So if I would have used the mount it came with, it would have had the light more in line with, or the can, or apologize, the light more in line with the muzzle, which would have worked fine without a suppressor. But once you add the suppressor, it makes it a bit longer. And the issue I was going to run into was I didn't want to have the light be way back here, and then with the suppressor lose a bunch of, visibility of the light. You'd be basically blocking off, I don't know, a third of the light, something like that. So anyway, ended up using a T-Rex Arms light bar, which all that does is it just attaches to M-Lock. They make them for Picatinny also, but I had an M-Lock one already sitting around. So anyway, just tighten this, and all this does is just uses that same Pro Surefire mount, but just moves it forward. This way I can have it much closer to the end of the muzzle, which is good for nighttime hunting. As far as switch goes, this is one of the dual switches. So it's got the regular plug tail cap, and it's also got a push button. So I could do either or. For a switch, this is one of the new Surefire ones. This one is just an M-Lock switch. So the two little M-Lock pieces built into the other side of the switch, and it just attaches to the rail just like that, which is pretty awesome. So the way I've got it set up, my thumb just rests right on the button. It takes it's not light enough that you're gonna like ND with the light. But anyway, if you just press, you get light, or you can click it and get constant on. So you can do momentary or constant on with this, which is pretty cool. Then I just use a zip tie right now for cable management. It'll maybe get changed in the future, but this has just been a pretty compact package. And I like the way this is, because I can get a full grip on the gun, and the lights, like nothing's really getting in my way. The switch is just right there sitting for my thumb, and nothing else is getting in my way or getting accidentally activated. For maybe the coolest part, suppressor, this is an Omega 9K. The way the can comes, it's set for normally like a direct thread, which this also has that. You can pull off the little thread protector and do a direct thread, but bruh, MP5, you gotta do the tri-lug. So what this is, actually part of the barrel, you can see 3 little lugs, and that's made for a specific adapter that you get to the inside of the suppressor. So this is just a tri-lug adapter that I threaded in the end of the Omega. The can comes with a little tool. You can see 3 little holes in that. Basically, just like a key goes over the top, and then you just tighten down this different end cap, which is captive, has a spring, and like the guts you need to accommodate mating with that tri-lug. So to put it on, all you do, you can see the opening or the way it's gonna fit. It's only gonna go one way. So you kind of just turn the can back and forth. If it doesn't automatically line up until it drops down, then just push down on the can, which I'm fighting that spring, turn it over to the side, and then it has a recess where it's pushing against the spring to go back up. And now it's locked in place. To take it off, all I do is just push down the can and turn it over. But anyway, it's quick to take it on and off, and this thing's pretty fly. I've had fun just shooting this. This has been just a for fun gun. So anyway, that's how this thing's set up. No issues at all. Like I said, with HK or Zenith magazines, it's just been a very good experience so far. When I get the Zenith back, I'll do a comparison video between the two. But anyway, for right now, I just want to explain how this thing was set up. So if you have any questions, if there's anything I can answer for you, hopefully, drop it below.